Are you ready, kids?
Aye, Captain!
Ahoy, it's a me, the second voice, playing the Vampires Coast DLC which just released 3 years ago. I'm sure you've seen plenty of Jack Sparrow jokes, but don't worry, there's none of that here. I just suck at being a pirate. Did you see what I did there? I picked Noctilus for the leader, fired everybody except the Necrofex, and like a true terror of the sea, hid in my base to unlock improvements. The first goal was to get a bunch of heroes running around, making pirate coves to get money. I did eventually make an army to go raiding. So the game had no faith in me, which is fair, neither did I. Actually, the run almost ended here. As we were doing okay for the first half, ranged units really pulled through, but I didn't really know how to make the most of them. So it became a last stand with Noctilus healing the Necrofex, and the game really tried to shame me, but I don't care. Yes, I will call this a victory. Hey look, free money. Oh, great. They might be ready to murder me next turn, but I've still got my secret move. It's not all bad, though. While I was off being stupid, my hero made our first pirate cove on Lothern, which is great, because Necrofexes aren't cheap. After improving the ship and filling up offices with unpaid interns, I was feeling pretty confident. I decided to go after the city they point you to at the start. It should be owned by some small faction, so no big deal.
Are you sure about that?
I didn't really want that spot anyway. Let's go find some other small territory to take over. Aha! We found one. Friendless make no friends here seems like a prime candidate. No one cares he exists. He's like my spirit animal. I would feel bad if I wasn't so broke. Thus, on turn 49, I claim my first territory. We're on that world record pace. Try not to blink. Hands sweaty at the thought of this new speedrun record. I knew I had to make another army, because frankly, I'm not great at these battles. But human wave tactics usually work out. Fortunately, this guy is even dumber than I am. So the second city was also a freebie. The final city was where it got exciting, since it told me I was going to win if the entire second army died, which sounded great, but I figured I'd take a stab at manual combat again. I came to regret that, since my reinforcements only arrived just in time for the end of the battle. Hey Jim. Fuck you. Regardless, with this final city, the territory became mine. I was even almost able to enjoy it for a bit. I ran around claiming ruins, and guess what? So I started a mini crusade, and saved the world from a rat infestation. It was easier than I thought it would be, honestly. Just when I was getting settled into my new lair, every single High Elf faction showed up. I'll spare you a few hours and summarize what happened. I had no friends to help. After getting flashbacks to middle school and getting a good cry in, I took my 3 armies and tried actually being a pirate. And let me just say, I didn't know pirates could make this much money. On top of getting rich, I also committed so many war crimes that other factions started liking me. I even got my first trade deal ever. Now that I'm all cashed up, I can really afford some good units. My boy Noctilus even got his own Necrofex mount. And call it a hunch, but most of the elf army should be gone. So I decided to invade the intersection where all the good money's at. With this many troops, every fight is pretty much guaranteed. I mean, really, just no resistance. Let me show you a bit of my strategic genius in these battles. Yeah, they're trying their best. I like seeing how many I can fling off the wall, because the ragdoll physics are pretty funny. If I had one complaint, all of my epic duels just ended up being awkward. Politely waiting for him to use the stairs before... Off topic, but while I was having all this fun, the vortex was getting pretty purple, and I'm not sure what that means, but I'll just assume I'm doing a great job. Capturing Lothern also ended up being a huge mess, mainly in that I didn't deserve to capture it at all. After clearing the walls per usual and charging in, the dragons and artillery were, quite frankly, whooping my ass. But I guess it was 5 p.m. on a Friday because they just all decided to leave, and Lothern got handed to me on a silver platter, which, hey, I'll take it. Except I won't, because the lizards show up. I would be worried about this, but... you know. With that, the entire inner island was mine. But while examining my gains, the yellow pirates were just walking in, which, hey, that's cool. I don't really mind
someone walking in.
Let's be rational about this by politely asking Yellow to fuck off. Aside from evicting squatters, I also figured doing more pirate things would be a good idea. I'm again reminded how terrible I am at pirating, because treasure coves were paying out 20k to fight trash armies. I'm not just taking candy from a baby, I'm taking baby from a candy. You know what I mean? Forget it. I wrote this at 3 a.m. So yeah, I got to 100k just from random treasure coves, and got to enjoy a panic attack as the lizardmen attacked my undefended maelstrom. They failed, but I was emotional and rich, so I raised an army with zero regards for cost and hired the legendary Jacqueline Nut, also known as Jackie Nut. Not Jack, the Nut. Big Nut, Captain Nut. What in the nut? Some guy dared me to declare war on the Dark Elves, to which I replied, sure, and got a nice movement speed bonus to finish cleansing my island. This guy was slightly offended by this. Just before I could catch him and cancel his World of Warcraft subscription, he made the kind of 400 IQ play only a normal difficulty AI could do, and siege the nearest gate, losing most of his troops and just sacking it for some money. So, you know. With that taken care of, the only thing raising my blood pressure now is these damn lizards. Why are you here? I've got enough on my plate being confused with Skaven diplomacy tactics. Meanwhile, the yellow pirate got salty and started attacking me on the other side of the map. I mean, fair, but go fuck. To unwind a bit, I decided to go steal the Sword of Cain. While doing that, I also got to see him destroy 3 lizardmen armies at once. It didn't weaken him much, but it did enable a Pyrrhic victory. I don't really have a plan for the sword, but hey, I own it now. Oh great, the lizardmen are back from my slip and slide again. Well, one nice thing about being undead is the instant army creation. Amidst all this nonsense, the last mission target bumped into my Sword of Cain wielder and got deleted, thus unlocking our final mission to win the game. We celebrated by breaking all of our armor, because RNGesus hates me. There's a story happening here, but my eyes are so glazed over by now that this is all I understood.
Mr. Squidward, I should kick your fucking ass!
As someone who was extra lazy with auto-resolves, this battle seemed intimidating. My first blind run can be summarized as too much pausing, organizing troops, reacting to enemy movements, very tactical. And I mean, I won, but where's the fun in just winning? The epilogue did mention he can travel through time or something like that, so I reloaded a save and decided to do something cooler.
Doomstacks.
As my first playthrough, I didn't really know what these were, but 20 Necrofex Colossuses sounded fantastic. So I bought them and bullied Malalalal until they leveled up and did the final mission again. Can you guess how that went?